Hello and good evening. As you can see, I'm trapped here in my trailer, or else I'd be hanging out with you guys. But that's not going to stop me from feeling tremendously honored by the National Hispanic Media Coalition for bestowing me this award in recognition of my body of work. So thank you, Alex Nogales, and everyone at the NHMC for all the critical work that you do. Representation matters. Thank you to HBO, J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot, Lisa Joy and Jonah Nolan, everyone at Kilter Films, for their creative integrity, their constant love, and their daily conscious fight for inclusion. For it's those small victories, it's those moments when we see the positive images of our likeness on the big screen that ends up liberating one's creative soul, adding fuel to the fire of passion to pursue one's dreams. You see, I'm a fourth-generation entertainer, but that didn't make my journey any easier, for it continues to come with many hardships, constantly reinventing oneself, tearing off labels in hopes of one day being recognized as solely an artist. Dealing with the emotional breakdowns forced me to lean on the stories of those who've dared before, particularly those of my grandfather, Pedro Gonzalez, a talented song and dance man who started performing at the age of 7. That's 1932, back in a time when they really didn't care about the education of a young artist. Never mind being of Hispanic descent. Never mind having to deal with the dehumanizing cruelty of the Jim Crow laws. But all that wouldn't stop him, for he knew he was bringing joy through the colorblind commonality of humor, song, and dance. He'd go on to headline at the age of 17, traveling the theater circuits in the country he loved dearly, going all the way to Radio City Music Hall, New York City. And although fans and artists adored him, he was often saddened by the simple fact that he couldn't stay at the nicer hotels, the Finney Hotel, at all, often sleeping on the same theater floors that he would later have to perform on that evening. Nor was he allowed to enter the front of restaurants with his peers, unless, of course, it was that 3-month period when the cotton picking season started, which is exactly when the blacks, Mexicans, and all dogs eat in the back signs would be taken down. These are the stories I grew up listening to. And it broke his heart, but he continued to work hard. He always had multiple jobs and ultimately persevered, landing a player's contract with Bat Jack Productions, John Wayne's company. And seeing my grandfather on that screen, him telling me, "Mijo, si se puede," gave me the freedom to go after my dreams, following in his footsteps, and now receiving this incredibly humbling award. It's a reminder of how far we've come, but an even bigger reminder of how far we still have to go. I'd like to dedicate this award to my grandfather, Pedro Gonzalez, and all the trailblazers, risk takers, and out-of-the-box thinkers that came before me. I am so indebted to you. And to those that will follow after, you have the freedom to dream. So go out there and dream it big. I'm rooting for you. So from the bottom of my heart, my grandfather thanks you. My grandmother thanks you. My sister thanks you. And I thank you. Enjoy the evening.